Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Robinson here again. We are going to continue our studies. This time we're working with our technology for square roots, but this is part 2. We did part 1 some time ago, and we used the TI 30Xii solar power calculator. This time we're going to be dealing with the Desmos Scientific Calculator. All right, so here we go. Perfect square we mentioned before. It's a number that is the square of an integer. For example, the square of 5 is 25, and 25 would be a perfect square, by the way, because 5 squared means 5 times 5 equals 25. But when we go the reverse way, we are talking about the square root. That's the inverse or opposite way of squaring a number. And here's the radical sign for square root, and it indicates a non-negative square root, so it's not positive. So of some number, for example, the square root of 49 is 7. Why? Because 7 squared, or 7 times 7, equals 49. So it's going in the opposite direction of squaring. So that's called square rooting. All right, so let's use the Desmos calculator to figure out how this goes. So first step in using the Desmos Scientific Calculator, press the square root button. So it has a square root button. By the way, there's the square button above it, a to the second. Type in your number, and then press enter, and it'll give you your answer. So it's a very good calculator. It's very straightforward. So let's take a look at using it on some examples. So here's an example. We have the square root of 36. So let's go to Desmos calculator and type in the square root button. There's our first step. Type the number, second step, and then press enter, and there's your answer, 6. Then we had another example underneath that, square root of 121. So type square root button, then type 121, and just press the enter button, and you have 11. And we had one more underneath that, square root of 196. So square root 196, press enter, and your answer is 14. So that's how you use the square root button. Let's just go a little bit deeper into it, because I had some questions that dealt with decimals and fractions. So before we go too far, check your understanding. If you understand what's going on, great. But if you're not sure, rewatch the video and see what I did. And if you're unsure, write down your questions, bring them in. I'll be glad to answer them for you. And you can also write to my email address that I'll give at the end. So let me know. Now, I mentioned I did have some others I wanted to do with decimals and square root. With square root with decimals and fractions. So let's do the first one, square root of 2.25. All right, so let's clear this. Square root button, 2.25. And let's press enter, and it gives you 1.5. So you're allowed to get decimal square roots. So it'll give you a decimal answer, by the way. So I saw a fraction. So square root, and now I have to press my fraction button because there's a fraction that's underneath it. It was 81 on the top and 225 on the bottom. So there is going to be my fraction underneath the square root sign. We're allowed to have a fraction on the square root sign. You might want to check out my other video on radicals on how I dealt with this. But Desmos calculator is a pretty good calculator, and it handles fractions very well. And I'll press enter, and I get an answer of 0.6. Now, Dr. Rob, shouldn't we usually get a fraction? Well, there's a button right next to it, a little fraction button, so it'll convert your answer that was a decimal, 0.6, into a fraction. If you click it again, it'll go back to a decimal, and click it again, it goes back to a fraction. So that's a good calculator. So that's fractions and decimals. So I got some more for you. You can try in your spare time, but I hope you found this lesson easy to do. So If you need help with your homework, there's Dial a Teacher Homework Helpline at 212-777-3380, Monday to Thursday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And yes, they're probably on summer vacation, but give them a call. You never know. But you can always reach me at my YouTube channel and watch my tutorial videos. My channel name is Dan Robinson, PKMS, Peekskill Middle School. Give us a thumbs up if you like what we're doing. Subscribe to our channel. Help us to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're getting there. Check out our latest release, PKMS Math Prep 21, 2021 version of what went on during the pandemic. Tweet me at drobmath1. Don't forget to watch our show Math Time on Tuesdays on Optimum Cablevision, only in Peekskill from 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Channel 15. If you would like some more information, you can write me at drobinson@peekskillschools.org. I'll be glad to send you a worksheet on what we did. So I hope you enjoyed using technology with Square Roots Part 2, the Desmos Scientific Calculator. All right, that's it for me today. So enjoy your day, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.